Yosemite feels a little bit different than other national parks, not because it has stuff to do, but more so because people treat it like a vacation destination. You know, This isn't a drive-through park. This is people come here, linger, stay in the campground, crowd the showers, but honestly enjoy some pretty spectacular hikes. And so I think I want to do just a little bit more justice to Greater Yosemite and the whole Sierra Nevada by trying to not just blow through it. So
yeah.
Hey everybody, good morning from Stanislaus Forest. Anyways, we're on our way back to Yosemite. Yesterday, we did literally what Yosemite Park Map calls the Yosemite Basics. And I think we fit the park too, but point being, there's a lot of other stuff to do in Yosemite. Today, we are on our way to a little surprise. So, of course you know that Yosemite is famous for the Yosemite Valley, which is the big, stunning glacial valley with El Capitan and Half Dome and all that iconic stuff. But I bet you didn't know that there's another one of those inside the park. That one has a few surprises too, so stay tuned. Hello, how are you? Are reservations required? The only place with no reservation, great. $102 today. This entrance here is the only one in the park that you don't need a reservation for.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's very frequented,
So hey everybody, welcome to the Hetchy Valley, which is a little bit different than the Yosemite Valley because this one is full of water. The Hetchy is part of Yosemite National Park, and even before it was dammed, it was part of the national park. So it's kind of an interesting little conversation on conservation, because this reservoir provides a lot of the drinking water and the power to the city of San Francisco, which is a great thing because of clean energy. But clearly, something that John Muir compared to the same beauty of Yosemite Valley is kind of lost forever. And this really isn't a conversation about no dams in general. It's just kind of like John Muir said, save the dams for areas that are outside of our kind of, you know,
wilderness protection areas.
Really, I mean, it's more so like the treasures. Like, I mean, look at this place, and it will never be the way that it was because it's half full with water. You know, I mean, can you imagine if Yosemite Valley was also full of water, right?
Be a lot of water.
It feels to me like it would be a little bit different of a story if you could actually use the water for recreation. But here, you can't really do anything with the whole area anymore, besides make power. Just to be facetious, one great way to reduce your crowds, fill up your whole glacial valley with water.
And then tell them they can't swim in it.
Yep. Okay, so now that we have checked out Hetchy, we're actually heading back into the main part of the park where the bajillion people are hanging out in the Yosemite Valley, and we're going somewhere that should be a little bit less trafficked, but maybe will be. It's called Glacier Point, and that's all I know about it. You know what would make it look better?
What's that?
If you filled it up with water.
Yeah, hold a lot of water. This is Glacier Point, overlooks the valley floor below and Half Dome and all that fun stuff, so super cool views.
Let me just say, that was a view that you don't take for granted.
Mm.
What do I do, just belly flop?
Yep. Special.
Slippery. Well, hello from still inside Yosemite National Park. I actually didn't really know this area existed, but remember that Yosemite is more than just the valley. It also includes an area called Wawona, which is mostly known for the Mariposa Grove of giant sequoias. But apparently it's got some covered bridges and a little stream for you to go in because it's 105 degrees and other cool stuff. So there. It is kind of interesting just reading some of the informational signs that a lot of the stuff over here, including the bridges and the wagons and that sort of thing, predate the National Park Service. The valley and the Mariposa Grove that's in this region were set aside actually in a bill that was signed by Abraham Lincoln in the 1860s.
Wow.
So the idea of conservation kind of existed even before parks did too. It is pretty interesting to me that the area that is Yosemite National Park now is set aside as a preserve before national parks were even thought of, you know? And this area here in Wawona, after reading all the little signs, was essentially set up as kind of the headquarters for both the cavalry that would come and like shoo away the sheep herders from Yosemite Valley and the High Sierra and stuff to keep it a preserve, but also as kind of the jumping off point for tourists that would come here on a stagecoach, and it would take them 2 days to get into the Yosemite Valley. By the way, I had no idea this existed.
Yeah, it sounds like the cavalry people were like the first rangers. It sounds like they shoot out the sheep herders. They went and found the cool spots. They made a lot of the trails that we're hiking on nowadays. They also stocked the lakes with trout and all that. So sounds kind of interesting.
Maybe they are running a shuttle. Is the road closed there? Okay, so this is kind of a little COVIDism at the Mariposa Grove, which are the giant sequoias at Yosemite. Usually you have to take a shuttle and you cannot drive up the road to them, which is about 2 miles, unless you have an ADA placard, meaning a handicap placard. But they're not running the buses this year, so the only way to get up there if you aren't legally handicapped or disabled is to hike, which isn't something to bitch about, I guess, but
yeah. You ready?
Is it 2 miles up, 2 miles back?
I think so.
All right, well, if it took 2 days on stagecoach just to get to the Yosemite Valley, can't complain about 2 miles of walking just to see the trees, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And like, what a blessing to be in Yosemite at one of the major attractions and not be like in somebody's car exhaust, you know?
Yeah.
Yesterday we were talking more about the reservation system. Kind of leaves me with a thought that a park that is this popular might actually benefit from a continual reservation system past 2020, you know? And it's interesting to see the work that they've done here in the Grove to pull out the roads, pull out paved walkways, and actually put up kind of natural material barricades to keep people from carving their names into the trees.
Yeah.
And by the way, you can only hike in here or take a shuttle, so makes it feel a little bit more precious, preserved, sacred, you know, sappy words like that. I am so thankful that we took a moment to go and see a little bit more of what Yosemite has to offer. And by the way, I've been to Yosemite before, but I kind of just blew through it and it did not do the place justice. So it really paid off to linger. It paid off to see some of the kind of weird stuff, some of the counterparts, some of the less trodden paths, some of the halfway as often trodden paths. And to tell you the truth, seeing the other stuff that wasn't Yosemite Valley also helped with crowds. Do yourself a favor. If you're watching this in Los Angeles or San Francisco, or honestly anywhere on the West Coast, or if you can get an RV or just get in your rig, go check out Yosemite. Or any other national park for that matter, but Yosemite's a good one. Enjoy. It is so hot that this week set the record for the hottest temperature ever recorded anywhere in the world. And that happened in Death Valley.